Last presentation. This gentleman has been a very successful associate, a very successful district sales coordinator, a regional sales coordinator, an STC, a state sales coordinator, and now on our regional team. He's entering his 23rd year with Aflac. One of the most positive individuals that I know. And I started to think of all the lives that this gentleman has impacted across our state. How many veterans he's impacted, how many people he's brought into the business, how many new people he has touched. And I'll tell you, we've been talking, and getting him back on the regional team, I love his attitude. I love his focus, and I love how he looks forward on the Aflac dream. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Mr. Brad Moran.
So Andy said, I want you to give a talk on legacy. And don't take more than 10 minutes, Brad. Okay. Let me give you a reminder. So, let's see if this thing advances. It's not advancing. I had to look up what a legacy is. So I went to the dictionary because I needed help with the big words. Legacy, 3 syllables. Okay. Law, a gift of property, especially personal property, is money, a will by bequest. Okay. Anything handed down from the past as from an ancestor or predecessor, the legacy of ancient Rome. An applicant or student at a school that was attended by his or her parent, if you are a member of the Greek system, and you have a child that goes to your fraternity or sorority, your legacy, you automatically get in, unless you're a dork. Now, and then the last one kind of scares you after you've been doing this for almost 23 years is of or relating to old or outdated computer hardware, software, or data that, while still functional, does not work well with up-to-date systems. So all of our young millennials, or Generation Ys, or whatever they are, I will tell you that old age, experience, and treachery will always vanquish youthful exuberance. So, going forward, my legacy. My parents are first-generation Americans. My grandparents came over from Europe. I do not have a legacy of a profession that was passed on to me. I don't have a legacy from a fraternity that was passed on to me, a university education. I'm the first Lauren male in my family to have actually graduated from college successfully. My Uncle John on the left, you see a picture of him on the left, my dad's older brother, served in the Marine Corps in World War II. So our legacy is that of being a Marine, somewhere around 18 to 20 years of age. The XYZ USMC thing kicks in and we walk in and did something really, really stupid. We joined the Marines. Now, so of course that afflicted my father, which afflicted me. My son is not yet old enough. I try to get him inoculated against that, but we'll turn out. And the youngest, Lauren, is my cousin Ben, who is a war hero. You can see from this, he also has twins, called Colton and Blaze. Now, the neat thing about this is growing up as a kid, I wanted to be a fighter pilot. That's what I wanted to be. My dad said, if you're going to be a Marine, you're going to be a Marine officer. So when I left Sterling Heights and went to Michigan State University, 2 things that were very impactful on my life. One, I walked in the officer selection office, and I said, I want to be a Marine fighter pilot. And they said, okay, take a test. Because I grew up obsessed with airplanes. I built every model airplane, watched every movie. You name it, I knew what an aileron was, a horizontal stabilizer, all this neat stuff. And I took the aptitude test, and I aced it. This guy was like, oh my God, you're amazing. But I walked in there wearing contact lenses. See, because I can't see for shit. But it was correctable in 2010. So they said, you can be a backseater. Okay, great. So I went to the Marine Corps Officer Candidate School, all that other neat stuff. I also enlisted in the Marine Corps Reserves. There's my boot camp picture. The terrifying look at my face is there for a reason. The only thing I can tell you I love more about being in the Marines is being out of it. Okay? Now, so, what I wanted to be, if you remember seeing Top Gun, is from the 80s. Hey guys, that's me in an A6 intruder on the USS Ranger, right after the Gulf War. Now, when I graduated from Michigan State University, I had to go back before taking my commission. I failed the Phelan test. I could be a backseater, kind of like Goose, okay? But I can't tell the difference between green, red, or white at a distance of 3 to 5 miles. So guess what? I ended up with a rifle in the infantry. That sucks. People shoot at you. I'm a nice guy. Why are you doing this? All right. So, here's the thing. Legacy, the decisions that you make impacts not only you in your career with Aflac, but the generations that come after you. You don't even know. It's very impactful. So, I made a decision. Right after I walked in the LCS office and said, I want to do something really stupid, I stepped down an elevator, and here were 2 guys that I met in summer orientation, a guy named Jeff Holland and a guy named Kent Clark. Robert Kent Clark, the man super. Okay? And they said, hey, Brad, you gonna go Rush? Nobody in my family went to college. What's Rush? Oh, it's you go to join a fraternity. Fraternity? I don't want to be a frat fag. What's that? Just nobody understand. There's free booze and beer and food there. Let's go. This is the first place we went. It was 1218 East Grand River. That is my Delta Sig fraternity house. Now, this monumental decision just to go with these 2 guys that I barely knew to go get free food and beer, and I was told there were hot women there too. There weren't. Yet. As I joined. And we had something that was called engineered leadership. Okay? Believe it or not, just besides drinking copious amounts of alcohol and trying to copulate with as many undergraduate women as you possibly can, fraternities do things other than teach you those things. My first position was a rush director. What is a rush director? It's a recruiter. They taught me how to recruit. And I did it really well. Because we went from being a small house to the biggest house on campus. All you need to do is know how to tell a story and have fun. If you tell a story and you can have fun, people like to have fun. The other thing is this, they said, always bring a man or a person better than yourselves. If you're a district sales coordinator or regional sales coordinator, and you're not hiring your replacement, or people that put the fear of God into you because you think they're so much better than you are, then you're making a mistake. I can tell you in this business, you are only as good as the people you surround yourself with. They also said, in life it doesn't matter how you get in the door. Nepotism is alive and well, and it should be. Who you know matters. I don't care how you got there, but once you're in the door, what you do is what's going to distinguish yourself and is going to determine your legacy and your destiny and what you do. So do your best. Always aspire to be better than you possibly can be. Now, I had a lot of help on the way. Because at Delta Sig, I met Doug Fox. He was my pledge brother. He's 2 years older than me, and I realized I met an extraordinarily brilliant, albeit eccentric, man who had a flamboyancy and a flair for fun and deviant behavior, the likes of which has touched my life probably in ways you have no idea. But I can tell you that despite being drunk around the world and having fun, this man is the one who brought me into the business. Thank you, Douglas. Because what happened was, I did eventually graduate. It was the best 12 years in Michigan State I've ever had. So Dougie comes down, see, he had this dream. He had a degree in religious studies, world religions, and he's got a couple of masters, was working on his doctorate, published thesis, was talking about this crazy stuff, Jesus and all this other stuff, and Romans and all this other crazy. The baths thing was a good read, anyhow. So he marries his bartender, doesn't become a college professor, and then he joins this company called Aflac, Xlax, or whatever. He comes into Okemos, Michigan for his training while I'm finishing off my degree. And he says, what you gonna do? You gonna do the Marine thing? I says, no, I'm not gonna take the commission, can't fly, don't want to be in the infantry. I survived one war, that's enough. And it is. Buddy, let me tell you about this company, Xlax, Aflac, whatever it is. And he's drawing on the rib as we're having a burger and a beer because he wants the ABC bonus on me. 40% commission cancel. I'm like, yeah, idiot, what are you doing? You've got all this education. Are you out of your mind? See, because my dad was an automotive designer and engineer. And we're all General Motors people. I was supposed to do that. So what did I do? I got a degree in international relations and Russian studies because I wanted to be a Marine officer who was to go to foreign lands and kill people and be an instrument of foreign policy. I wanted to know why. But that didn't work out, see, because I couldn't fly. And I didn't want to carry a damn rifle anymore. So, I don't know if you can make that lighter or not, but this is a very, very, very difficult photo for me. So he arranged for me to go on an interview after beating me up for 6 months. It took him at least 6 months, time after time after. Like I said, Dougie, I love you. I'll go on one interview if you promise me you'll never, ever, 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 never, ever mention Aflac, X-Lax, whatever this is to me again, or I'll kill you. Roll something close. Okay, I want you to go to Troy, Tracy Kaiser. This is the person you need to meet. I don't know what that woman said to me. It was sort of like sitting there and just being blown away. I walked out really excited. I have no idea what call I just agreed to do, but boy, I was going to sell Aflac. I went home and told my mom and dad, guess what? I got a job. I'm out of college. Like, great, doing what? Working for Aflac. What's that? It's an insurance company. It's sales, and it's the commission of 1099. Oh. 12 years, best education in the world. You're going to sell insurance? Cancer insurance? Straight commission? No expense account? No card? What the hell is wrong with you? No, but you don't understand. See, but I did. Oh, you gotta be shitting me. All right. Almost done. This is a picture of my father. And what you don't see, but you could if it was a little bit better optics here, is the bottom of his feet have scars that are about this big. See, because when I was in the first grade, my dad was afflicted by something called Dupuytren's. He had about 40 operations throughout his life on his feet that resulted in retiring at 43, being a chronic pain patient, had neuropathy, and all kinds of stuff. So I knew, as a child growing up, what it means when a medical event impacts a family financially, what it does emotionally. Nearly lost my father a few times on the operating table, going in and saying, well, he may not come out of this. That's hard. Fortunately, I had him until May of 2011. Okay? So I had to grow up, and I had to live with pain. Not only his, because he was in it all the time, but it affects everybody in the nucleus of the family. It's not good. But I thought if I could make my life's work some way alleviate that pain, maybe not the physical pain, but the financial pain, that would be pretty cool. So I went all in. The only thing that I really knew was my training in leadership from the Marines. And I took this, and I remember distinctly doing a business plan as a newly promoted district sales coordinator, and I took the NCO creed, because I was a non-commissioned officer. I'm an NCO, I'm a coordinator. Dedicated to training new Marines or associates and influencing the old. I'll point you as that, veterans and agents. I am forever conscious of each associate or coordinator under my charge, and by my example will inspire him or her to the highest standards possible. I will strive to be patient, understanding, just, and firm, and I will commend the deserving and encourage the wayward. I will never forget that I am responsible, my commanding officer, my RC, my marketing director, SSC, what have you, for the morale, discipline, and efficiency of my team. Their performance reflects on an image of me. Now, Marines are really good at accomplishing those things they set out to do, whether it's assaulting a bar or a beach. Now, who would imagine that 23 years later, yeah, a couple of idiots like us would have been sales associates, districts, regions, state sales coordinators, and here we are, back again. We've come full circle, as we said, working for Andy and all of you again as regional sales coordinators. And it gives me a lot of joy to be able to reflect back on that, because it's going hell of a ride. A couple of kids, you know, have done good. Now, Charles Schultz, the Peanuts cartoon, he says, you know, you can look at the wealthiest people, the richest people, the Heisman Trophy winners, people who won the World Series, all this other stuff. You know what? All of those things fade in time. Okay? You can think about this. All of those things that you know have a hard time, you know, these things that those people, their accomplishments, they fade. You can be the best in your field. The awards tarnish, as Doug and I have got boxes of them. That's where they are now. Most of our stuff, most of us people throw all over our walls, like Jason. Those are in boxes for us. The achievements, frankly, they've forgotten. I have a reminder of fame. I hadn't worn this thing in years. Yeah, I've been on consecutive fame trips. Somebody I can't even remember where we've been. I know I had a hell of a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with those people in the room around it. The lesson, the people who make a difference in your life are not the ones with the most credentials, the most money, those things. It's the people who cared about you the most. You have to care about your people. That's what's important. Deb Littleton, Rob Cannon, look at Heidi, 1995. Hey, I'll tell you what, when she walked in the office in that red dress, there was not a man in that office, in Tracy Kaiser's office, that did not stand up and take notice of her. This is a great picture. I love this photo. I've had this for years. You got Doug Fox pointing there as regional coordinator. You got Alan Bergman, Dwayne Cordes, Mr. Glob. Look at that dapper Dan over there. Scotty Rogers. Pretty cool. Essentially, what we looked like back then is now a mirror image of all of you. Some of the faces have changed. Alan Bergman was my regional sales coordinator, my second one. I got to tell you, I had a hell of a blast with working with him. Under his tutelage and leadership, I learned so much. I had so much fun. We would do crazy shit. We would. Hey, Alan, yeah? Do you think we can get to the golf course in, I don't know, 120 miles an hour down 696? Which car's faster? Do you think it's going to be the Mustang GT or is it the Mark 8? I don't know. Let's find out. Okay. Jennifer Griffin. Oh, nice Kowski. This gal used to wrestle spaz in the morning to be the first people in the office. It was hysterical. Three-sport athlete out of Oakland University. Impressive young lady. She was a blast. This is a state meeting where she had just gotten her second fame. I remember that. So when you said, whoever said, you remember your people's fames more than your own, that's true. Spaz. Oh my God. Look at that guy. That was his seventh fame photo. Right there. Okay? You know, his second year as a district sales coordinator, his bonus was $98,000. Tommy Danko. Touchdown. The $200,000 elite club. Because he said, Brad, I want to write $200,000. And we wrote his ass to make sure he did it. The other thing I think is remarkable about this is, A, like Tom said, he has a shirt on. He's not going and he's not sticking out his tongue. Every photo, and like I told him yesterday, I said, dude, I got a picture of you with a beautiful smile. Stop sticking your damn tongue out. You look like an idiot. So you're still coaching. I hired his wife, Stephanie. And I think this is her discussing the first time they had an intimate, whatever. Anyway, so. And here he comes again, full circle. You know, the thing about it is this, is everybody in that photo, at one point or other, under his tutelage, became a state sales coordinator. So if you aspire to be a marketing director, this is the guy to listen to. Even when it doesn't make sense, even when he pisses you off, do what he says, shake your head like this, because in the end, it's all worthwhile. I love some of these photos. I just thought it'd be great. Ron and Amber in Hawaii. Look at that. This career, this is awesome. Dick Summers. There are mentors that I've had along the way. I learned how to be a regional sales coordinator and how to recruit. The systems I have from Tracy Kaiser, let me tell you, served me very, very well. Scotty Rogers with my DSC, my Papa Bear, he got me through my first 12 months. Alan Bergman taught me how to sell and play blackjack. He taught me a lot more than that. So I learned how to be a recruiter and how to run a system in the regions. I learned how to sell from that gentleman back there. Thank you, Alan. Andy Lott, I could spend a whole day on a seminar on the things I've learned from him. One of the most crucial things that comes back in my mind is obviously leadership, but everybody in Aflac deserves a second chance. We learn more from our failures than we do from our successes. He says, Brad, don't be so hard on people. Give them another chance. Even though they disappointed you, they let you down, they lied to you, whatever, give them a second chance. And he's right. Mike Quinn, his leader, mentor, taught me about love, trust, and commitment through Andy. He also taught us that, Brad, things change. And the objective is at the end of the day, year after year, the objective is to still be here. guess what? I'm still here. The other thing is, he also taught me, being a Catholic, no matter how drunk you are the night before, never ever miss Mass. Okay? Now, if you're whatever denomination, relief, go. Do it. Sitting in the woods, do that too. Spirituality is important. It's good to be good with God. Mike McCarthy, the crazy Irishman. Praise and positive thinking. Well, Brad, I know you're going into combat and you have a 100% chance of being killed. But the good news is, I learned that from him. And the other thing is when you're feeling my danko back there, Alka-Seltzer. Joe K, knowledge is power. Be a student of your business. I have a library just full of books, seminars, things to improve yourself. The more you learn, the more you earn. Joe always said, he used to do this stuff, I've got all these books. Well, the guys run the sales, he's super successful, I'm going to do that too. So feed your brain. Regional coordinators, if you are not giving your people books every month and growing their knowledge in this business and talking about it, should. Doug Fox. Never, ever, ever deviate from the calendar or the plan. Create the plan, work your plan, stick to the plan. That's the way it goes. And then the other thing that's really important is women come and go, my buddy, but friends are forever. And he's right. He carried me through my divorce. He picked me up in his loving arms and took care of me. I'm here today because of that. Thank you. These people. You got Mike Quinn over here, you got Mike McCarthy, Dwayne Bjorgi, Mr. Amos, Joe K. All of these folks all had an impact on so many lives. Okay? I never once ever doubted that Jennifer or Tom, Brian, or any of these other folks that we had working with would not be phenomenal coordinators and superstars. Okay? Knew it from the day I met them. These guys are going to be great. Pour your heart and your soul into them. Now, this is a photo that I took of Andy because he told me not to show this to anyone, so I had to take an opportunity to bring it up. Folks, I can tell you, after almost 23 years, your associates in the districts that you're charged with, bring them in as a new recruit, they're like your children. And time goes by so fast. Like that, they're growing up. It does go by that way. Hell, Tom was a single guy, fresh out of college, now look at it. Impressive. Jennifer, the same. As a leader, my motto has always been and will continue to be to touch people's lives in a positive way. To share this opportunity with as many people as possible. And to mentor, encourage, coach, and pass on our collective legacy as long as I'm permitted to do so. Because I'm passionate about this. And you should be too. So, when you leave here today, touch as many lives as possible. Offer the opportunity. Encourage people. Support them. Put all you have into your teams and your people, because ultimately you will be rewarded tenfold. The likes of which never can imagine. Thank you.